Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Beauty Brief, your go-to podcast for all things makeup and beauty. I'm your host, Maddie Pede, and let's get into it. Okay, now before we get into the nitty-gritty of today's episode, I would love so much for you guys to subscribe to this YouTube channel or follow over on Spotify on The Beauty Brief. It really, really does help push these episodes out to more people so I can keep doing what I'm doing, produce more content for you guys. So thank you guys so much for supporting my content, my podcast, my short content, all of the things week by week, day by day. I really, really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Starting out first with some beauty news. We do actually have some this week, and it's honestly shocking. Like I don't know about this. Okay, so I saw this on Trend Mood, and the Pantone color was announced for 2026, and it is called Cloud Dancer. They describe it as a calm and peaceful color. It's just white. Like, oh my God. Just when you think we're like leaving the minimalist clean girl makeup era and getting back into glam, Pantone decides to launch like the color of the year being white. This is actually the first year that I'm not mad about Sephora collection not doing a Pantone collection. You remember when they used to do a collection every single year? I used to love those. Anyways, this year I'm like, okay, fine. The thing that got me the most were the comments. They're hilarious. Like I was just reading through the Trend Mood comment post, howling. They're so good, and we'll get into some of them. Firstly, let's get into the description. So they say a lofty white that serves as a symbol of calming influence in a society rediscovering the value of quiet reflection. A billowy white imbued with serenity encourages true relaxation and focus, allowing the mind to wander and creativity to breathe, making room for innovation. I mean, I'll give them that. It's a really, really good description. Like I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, sure. But like, it's white. Ugh, girl. Either way, then it says Cloud Dancer invites a space where function and feeling intertwine to build atmospheres of serenity and spaciousness, providing a refuge of visual cleanliness that inspires well-being and lightness. Another really good description. Like, I mean, they're doing the damn thing with the description. The marketing team, check. Then it says, just like every year, brands create products inspired by the color of the year, and I can't wait to see it all here. It's just so boring. Like, it's literally so boring. Oh my God. Either way, let's get into the creme de la creme, which is the comment section. The first comment and the top comment says, this is depressing ASF. I don't think I'm allowed to swear on YouTube, but anyways, you know what I mean. As LOL. This next comment got me. The color of a padded room, which is what I'm going to need. Oh my God. The color of every Tarte foundation shade range in 2018. Stop. This next comment, they said, what in the Sydney Sweeney's great jeans is this? The next comment, recession indicator. Then it's just the meme of Paris Hilton going, so funny. I mean, it was worth it just for the comment section, in my opinion. I really needed that. But if this is the color of the year for 2026, then God help us all. That is it for beauty news. We are getting into latest beauty launches, smash or pass. This is where I go through all of the new beauty launches which have been announced or teased or leaked for that matter. And I will tell you whether I think they're worth a smash or a pass. Just a teaser now, there are a bunch of spring collections which are being announced. And I'm like, for the love of God. Before Christmas is like criminal. Like I feel like there should be charges against these companies for doing that. Let us just like enjoy this special time of year. I love Christmas. I love the holidays, and the thought of spring makeup collections, I'm like, ugh, makes me not want to buy them. I'm like, get out of here. I want to ask you to be here. Okay, first up is a brand new reformulation of the iconic Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Shout out to like when I first got into YouTube, like beauty YouTube, and every single creator and influencer was like the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And I mean, she is that girl. To be fair, I didn't even realize that they were reformulating it. I haven't used this foundation in years. Either way, it says to be a lightweight base with a luminous finish, which is what we had previously. The description says a new era for a luxury makeup classic. This foundation is reinvented with an improved formula that maintains its radiant natural finish, ideal for all skin types. Now enriched with a combination of niacinamide, glycerin, sea lily, and white lupin extract. Don't know what that is. It delivers long-lasting hydration and all-day comfort with microfill technology and an ultra-light texture that melts like silk into the skin. It evens out skin tone, corrects imperfections, and enhances radiance without creating a mask-like effect and a buildable coverage in 40 shades. There weren't any details on when this is being launched or anything, but you know, I'm down for it. I think the original was really, really good. And if they're elevating it, sure, absolutely, let's do it. My only hesitation is, you know, are they reformulating it because they had to get rid of a bunch of ingredients? Obviously, we know that's a huge thing going on right now, especially in the EU. I feel like that's kind of like where it's happening first, but there's a bunch of ingredients which are being, you know, discontinued, banned, if you will. So these companies are having to reformulate so that then, you know, they can produce one foundation that can be sold globally and they don't have to create a whole different formula for EU where ingredients are already being banned versus North America, et cetera, et cetera. So my hesitation lies in the fact, like, are you scrambling to reformulate because a bunch of these ingredients are being banned, or are you actually like upping the quality, revamping? You know what I mean? So that's my hesitation. And I mean, you never really know. Brands aren't coming out being like, yeah, so we had to reformulate this because this got banned, because it's like people hear the word banned and they're like, oh my God. So we were using these ingredients and they, you know, it's one big mess. And why would a company ever like fully disclose why they're having to reformulate if that is the case? So that's my thing about that, but I'm totally down to give this a go. She's iconic. She's a staple. She is Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. She is a smash. Okay, moving on to a new collection from Tom Ford. This is the Fig Erotic collection, and it goes with his new fragrance, which he is launching. I think I mentioned that maybe last week or the episode prior. This looks really, really beautiful, but it's just like, my God, Tom Ford makeup. Tom Ford in general, like fragrances, everything is really, really expensive. I think the top comment on Trend Mood was like, and you can have this for the small cost of a human child. Like it was just, it's actually so expensive. Sorry, that's morbid, but like, so it says this color collection was inspired by the new fragrance that expresses the trajectory of sensuality. Okay. Depicted by the fig. I don't think I've ever looked at a fig and thought, wow, sensual. The burgundy and crocodile style design creates a sensual luxury. I mean, it is really beautiful. My one little nitpicky thing was the fact that the color of the makeup products versus the fragrance weren't quite the same. The makeup products were giving more burgundy, and then the bottle of the perfume was giving like a lot more purpley. It was just one of those things. I'm like, if you're creating a matching collection, like match the colors. They must have put too much of the Pantone color of the year for 2026 in the makeup. I don't know. Anyways, the products in this collection include an eye color quad in Disco Dust. It does look really, really beautiful. Definitely more on the warm side. There's kind of like a deeper corally orange shade, a warmer kind of like champagne-y shade. Looks nice. There's also 3 different lip color satin mattes. There's Scarlet Rouge, which is limited edition, the only limited edition shade. Then you have Adore and then Naked Rose, which are both existing colors. Then you have a gilded gloss. This is a gold soft rose peach with shimmer. It doesn't say whether it's existing or new. Anyways, the gilded gloss looks so warm. I was like, ooh, ooh. Then they have a cushion compact case. That is kind of like the thing now. Like every luxury brand is coming out with like new limited edition cushion foundation cases. I'm like, okay, remain calm. I do think it's nice. I do think with Tom Ford, his makeup just like isn't quite on the same level as the fragrances for me personally. Also, it's just like the price point of the makeup, I just can never justify. Like I can't even really justify the fragrances, but the fragrances are really, really good quality and the longevity is so good. So you don't really need to use a lot. 1, 2 spritzes, you're good, and it's going to last all day. The makeup products, I'm like, the makeup product is a makeup product. Like it is what it is. I can never really justify the price. I don't think it's anything revolutionary. I'm giving it a pass. Okay, moving on, Beauty Creations Cosmetics is launching their Riding Solo Single Shadows Volume 2. Didn't even realize they had a Volume 1, but these come with all new shades, I believe. It is a collection with a total of 36. They are individual pressed shimmer shadows, 18 new shades added. Okay, there we go. So there's 36 total, 18 being new. You have a creamy texture, highly pigmented, easy to apply, infused with vitamin E, clear magnetic, and stackable packaging. Pop off. There are 15 shimmery and 3 mattes, $6 each, but then that's only the 18 new shades. Okay, whatever. Anyways, the whole PR box is $89, which is just like actually insane to me. Like it's so affordable. I think it looks beautiful. The colors are really, really nice. I really appreciate that they are stackable and they look quite like sleek. So it's not going to be overly bulky in your makeup collection. I mean, owning a palette, I feel like is a lot more spacious and a lot more minimal compared to having like all of these single shadows. The packaging looks exactly like Urban Decay. When I first glanced at it, I was like, this is Urban Decay. And then I was like, oh wait, no, Beauty Creations. Also a fraction of the cost. Thank you. So they look really nice. The swatches of them looked beautiful. I hear such good things about Beauty Creations eyeshadows. I still have yet to bite the bullet on this brand. I need to. If you guys have any experience, let me know your thoughts in the comments. For me personally, I have so many single shimmer shadows. I do not need any more, but I do really appreciate this. So I'm going to give them a smash. Next up, we have a spring collection. Nothing screams Merry Christmas like a spring collection. Every single year that brands do this, I'm like, God, can we just chill? Like, just wait till January. Give me till January, okay? No, they really gotta like get in there. So this first one is from Givenchy. They are launching a Prism Libre loose powder in number 16. Looks really nice, but this is probably one of the most controversial products of 2025. Obviously, they reformulated the whole product, got rid of the talc powder, which is, you know, what made the setting powder so good. This was like a cult classic setting powder for years and years and years. The beauty world went crazy. They were so mad. The new formula is not good, not the same at all, obviously, because they took out the talc powder. And it just caused absolute chaos in the beauty world. I genuinely don't think that they'll ever recoup from this, unless of course they like put the talc powder back in, but I don't see that happening. Anyways, then there is a lip oil. I was really hoping in 2026 we'd move on from the lip oil craze, but here we are. It says to be a plump finish with a sleek, refreshing, cool feeling. Love that. It is in the shade Rose Quartz. Then you have a serum oil stick, which sounds really interesting. There are two different shades. You have soft rosewood and spicy maple. Then the next thing, this is kind of what I was interested in and caught my eye. It is the Prism Libre Skin and Color Serum Primer. It is hyaluronic acid infused and there are 3 different shades. I absolutely love this. Like, this just sounds so interesting. Anyways, the purple one is a niacinamide blend and it is firming your skin while correcting yellowness for a radiant appearance that makes pores less visible. Really nice, sounds amazing. There is a pink shade, which is vitamin C. It corrects dullness for a radiant skin look. I feel like a vitamin C combo to help like boost the skin's radiance. People would automatically want a warmer tone, not like a pink cool tone, but anyways, that's just me. Then there's a green shade, which is totally up my street. It is a vitamin B5 blend. It treats redness and firm skin for an even skin tone. Sign me up immediately. I love it. I love that we're getting into these like super skincare infused makeup products. Like, I know it is a primer, so I mean, it really is in retrospect a skincare product, but it's a color corrector product with like a ton of skincare products in there. I'm totally into this. It sounds really, really interesting. And it's in this beautiful like dropper type bottle. So we'll see how we feel when you get to the spring. I'm like, it's too early to smash or pass some spring collections. Get real. Okay, moving on to a collaboration, which totally makes sense to me. This is a Gap X Summer Fridays collection. I commented on the Trend Mood post and I was like, I'm actually totally here for this. And I still stand by that. I love this. I think moving into 2026, I really hope that brands become more conscious of like who they're partnering with and collaborating with and how that brand aligns with their own brand. And I feel like Gap and Summer Fridays just like go hand in hand and they totally make sense together. They're doing this really, really beautiful, like cozy loungewear type collection. So it is a 20-piece chic and cozy collection. There are soft knits, fleece sets, matching pajamas, and gift-ready accessories in the brand's signature shades: pink sugar, cherry, vanilla, and the jet lag mask blue. It says a gift with purchase set exclusively for Gap that highlights bestsellers when you spend $125 or more. Price range is between $28 to $98 and will be available December 12th. It looks stunning. I just think this is so adorable. So looking at the picture together, we can see that the cherry lip butter balm has some matching pajamas that go with it. The red and pink striped PJ set, totally up my street. I love that. There's also a crew neck sweater with summer on the front of it. The jet lag mask products are really, really cute. There's like a blue crew neck as well. Then the rest of it is like this white and blue type flannel pajamas, it looks like. There's also a baby blue kind of loungewear set, really, really cute. There appears to be some socks. There's another pajama set, which are red and pink, but they have hearts on them. So cute. There seems to be a tracksuit with Summer Fridays on it. Adorable. I just think this is like so freaking cute. First, there was the Rare Beauty base collab, which I felt like just made sense because it's like that's the same clientele. Those people are, you know, it's just very well suited. Then the Gap Summer Fridays collab is another partnership, which is just really, really good and really, really strong. It genuinely makes all the difference. It's when these like random brands collaborate together to like produce this like subpar product that it just feels like a money grab and there's no connection between the consumer to the brands. I love this. I'm totally here for this. More of this moving forward, please. Thank you. Smash. Okay, something I don't get on board with is another spring collection. I know, I told you there was going to be a lot today, okay? So this is the Guerlain Spring 2026 collection. Again, nothing screams happy holidays like thinking about spring 2026. Anyways, this is the denim flower collection. I swear to God, who was it? Givenchy came out with a denim collection? Like, well, who asked for this? Anyways, the products include a meteorite setting and finishing illuminating powder in denim flower. And there's the Rouge G customizable cases. Meh, they're okay. Then there's the Ombre G quad eyeshadow in 396 denim flower. It looks cute. Another really like warm toned palette. Are we going really warm toned this year? I don't know. I'm scared. I think it's cute. I don't think it's anything to like write home about. Guerlain really put all of their efforts into their holiday collection this year, which is still like such a standout for me. It was so beautiful. So I mean, when it came to spring 2026, they were like, yeah, sure, Givenchy did denim. We'll do denim now. Like denim, whatever. Not doing a lot for me. I always say it takes a lot for luxury beauty brands to wow me. And this is doing none of that. So it's a pass. Okay, moving on to a new Carolina Herrera fragrance. I love her fragrances. And honestly, the quality is really amazing. Yes, they're expensive, but like, welcome to the fragrance world. Either way, this is the Good Girl Jasmine Absolute Eau de Parfum. The description says, celebrates 10 years of irresistible allure with a bold, ambery, gourmand twist on the house's signature jasmine and the original icon. A rich and radiant scent dressed in sleek black and crowned with a white pearl jasmine flower. So yeah, the bottle is like the typical, you know, high heel. Then it's got the pearly white jasmine flower on it. Really nice touch. I mean, the packaging of this fragrance bottle is so iconic. So sounds really beautiful. I mean, I'll love this. I love jasmine. I love the original fragrance. Definitely need to run to Sephora to smell this. Let me know if you guys want a YouTube video of me going to Sephora to smell fragrances, because I feel like I have so many on the podcast that I'm like, yep, I gotta go to Sephora to smell this. And I genuinely never do. I don't even remember the last time I went into Sephora. So let me know if you guys would be interested in a video on that. I'll either do a long form or maybe a short form. I don't know. Just go to Sephora together, me and you. Let me know what you think. Like I always said, I don't usually smash or pass fragrances on this podcast, and I don't know till I know, so I'm on the fence. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have a new Dove collection. This is in collaboration with crumbl, and I just already know that the girlies are gonna go crazy for this. This is another one where I feel like it's a really good partnership. It's not quite as strong as the Gap X Summer Fridays or the Rare Beauty X Base collection, but it's good. It makes sense. Before we get into the products though, I'll keep it 100% real. I have never been to crumbl. I know we have a few of them now, I think in Calgary where I live, but I've never been. There's just something about them. They don't look appetizing to me. I'm sorry. I said what I said. They look sickly. Like I'm going to have a stomach ache for the next 4 to 5 weeks. There are a few though that pop up on my For You page when I see people eat them, and they do look really good. Like they look delicious. Every once in a while I'm like, ooh yeah, I'd love to have that. Anyways, getting into the collection, this is inspired by the crumbl favorite dessert. Uses whipped cream, vanilla cake, and a hint of cinnamon blended into Dove's signature formulas. It is the Tres Leches collection. Sounds beautiful. I love Tres Leches. There are 4 products. There is a body wash, a body scrub, a deodorant, and a liquid hand wash. I don't know. I feel like body wash, sure. Body scrub, yeah. The deodorant kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm like, do I want a cinnamony deodorant? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess what's different, like if you apply a vanilla perfume, what's different about having that in a deodorant? I don't know. Anyways, liquid hand wash, super cute, really good gift. These are such good stocking stuffers for the holiday season. If you have somebody who you buy stocking stuffers for, even just the whole collection as a gift is really cute. If you have someone who's really obsessed with crumbl, this is totally up their street. Just because it's not totally my cup of tea, it would be a pass, but I think it's a really good collection. I think it's really strong for the holiday season. I'm going to give it a smash. Okay guys, either way, that is it for today's episode. As always, be sure to let me know what latest beauty lunches you're smashing or passing. I love hearing your guys' opinions. I feel like I just sit here and be really harsh about these products sometimes. So when I hear your guys' opinion, I'm like, okay, we're on the same page, or maybe we're not, but I want to know your opinion. If you did enjoy today's episode, be sure to like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. Without further ado, I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.